Hello, everyone. I'm just letting everyone know that this is a very touchy subject that I'm sure all of you are well aware of regarding George Floyd. And I am going to be reading off a document, so I apologize if I do not stare directly at the camera because I wanted to be able to give my point across while being clear and concise, because I am very prone to tripping over my words and not finding the right term for everything. So without further ado, I'm going to start reading off of this document here that I created for the death of George Floyd. I want to be able to use this platform not only for what I love doing, but for what I believe in. What I believe is that prejudice, injustice, and racism are part of our everyday lives, and we all need to stand up against these issues. The man named George Floyd was murdered by a police officer while he was under arrest, and the cause of his arrest are inconsequential because he is now dead. The reason why this is such an important issue regarding George Floyd is because he is part of a percentage of the population that has been and is still being oppressed. George Floyd was an African American man, and there is an incredible amount of history with oppression relating to African Americans. Today, most people I see on social media are petrified to be near cops if they are not in fact white. There have been numerous amount of protests, expressions, and riots, not only in Minneapolis, but across the country. There have been instances where they have done peaceful protests, much like the football players. For example, Colin Kaepernick, I hope I said his name correctly, when he would kneel during the national anthem. The actions that were taken currently are very human reactions. As Martin Luther King Jr. once said, a riot is the language of the unheard. And I could not agree with him more. It means that after so many attempts to being peaceful and being ignored repeatedly, there are only a few options left to express their emotions. How long do people of color have to succumb to systemic racism and injustice? We have been witnessing this injustice for hundreds of years, and it has not gotten any better in our government, the communities we live in, and the systems that are actually supposed to be helping our fellow men and women of color. There is no gray area to debate about whether you want to make the point about the damage that was caused or not, or the fact that a man is dead by the result of police brutality. George Floyd is not the first one to die of police brutality, and he certainly won't be the last. Another well-known example was Michael Brown, who was an 18-year-old that was fatally shot down by police officer Darren Wilson in Ferguson, Missouri. The biggest thing that concerns me is that people all around the world believe that it does not affect them in any way, shape, or form. But it does. It affects everyone. I hope as a nation we can get behind our neighbors, our friends, our families, our loved ones to break this systemic racism that is so deeply rooted into our nation. We need to fight against these injustices at every moment we see them. What is happening is a result of a people who have not been heard, who have not been treated the same as others, the ones who have been ignored. We need to change the systems that allow these injustices to happen in the first place, and it will be a long, grueling process that we will need constant pressure to make a difference. I hope that one day we can live in a world with our fellow loved one, that they don't feel the need to be afraid to walk out of their doors, fearing for their lives, and that prejudice, injustice, and racism is a thing of the past. I'm going to link the Black Lives Matter website along with the charity campaign, Campaign Zero, which I will also be donating to help end police brutality and support my loved ones who are not heard in the description below. Remember, if you believe in all lives matter, then you will do what you can to support the Black Lives Matter movement. We are all in this together, whether you think so or not. We all walk on the same soil. We all share the same air. We are all part of the same world. We need to be there for each other, especially during these troubling times. Black Lives Matter. Let's fight this injustice.